Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Investor Frame podcast. I'm your host, Paul Sparks. And on this show, we ask successful real estate investors and entrepreneurs to share their stories so we can all learn from their experiences and get closer to the things that we want in life. Today, I've got a special guest, Nicholas Nick. He's here to talk a little bit about, his journey into entrepreneurship. He's done so many cool things. He's worked as a restaurant manager for 16 years before going full-time into real estate, worked as an executive for for a pretty large real estate education company. And now he is an entrepreneur who basically runs a company called Lead Mining Pros. And these guys, they give real estate investors an opportunity to choose your own adventure. I'm excited for him to explain that today. And welcome into the show, Nick.
Yeah, thank you so much, Paul. Thanks for having me, man. Excited to be here.
Well, it's awesome. So we start every show off with what we call a 6-word update. Do you have a 6-word update for us?
I do. And it's perfect. I just created this quote on my Facebook wall the other day, and it is, take action now, get perfection later.
I love that. And so how have you taken action now and get perfection later? Because that's, I think what keeps a lot of us from starting is this idea that, well, I don't have it all perfect.
Right. Well, my whole life is that, man. Everything I do, I have 4 cars. I have 3 jet skis. Like, dude, I'm a massive action taker, and, I bring up those things. And why do I have 3 jet skis? Well, I had one, and like, my friends don't want to ride bitch, right? Who the hell wants to do that? So I got another one, and then I got a 3rd friend, and he's riding bitch. And I was like, well, this is ridiculous. So, I got a 3rd one, but that's just in my personal life. In business, like everything I do, so I own a lead generation company. And if I could tell you that is the attitude of a lead generator, right? That's the attitude you want. Hey, we're going to get them on the phone. We're going to get them going. You're going to go ahead and you're going to have to perfect this lead later, but I'm going to get someone interested now. And that's what I really do in everything. Right now we've got massive pieces moving in business at Lead Mining. I'm creating so many new products. I can't even get into it, not because they're a secret, but because there's just so much happening. And, and one thing I do as an example is before I create something, I put it on the website, like I already have it. Okay. And then I wait. And this is a great tip for entrepreneurs. I wait for my customers to bring it to me. Hey, man, so I'm seeing this thing on the website, dude. Like, and I'm like, yeah, and then I softball it out, and so that is a great example of action now, perfection. And I tell the person, hey, you're actually going to be my first one. I don't pretend to be some super professional. Hey, we're brand new. We're trying it out. I just added it to the site. You want to sign up? And then through them, they actually become my guinea pig. And then, of course, we become good friends. And then we perfect it later.
Play pickup basketball, which means like I like to show up when I want to show up.
Right.
I play my ass off when I'm in the game. And I'm there to win. But when I walk off the court, like whether I won or lost doesn't really affect my mental state. Sure. So I'm trying to design my life and my investments so that I can play business as a sport in the same way I play pickup basketball. Right. So I'm curious, like you've got this fantastic business that seems like it's ultra reliable. You're serving a lot of customers and doing very well. So what are you trying to solve for in your life by owning these businesses and these different investments?
Well, my life happened in reverse. It really did. I was a troubled kid. And then the only thing that could keep my attention was restaurants. And then I went head first into restaurants. I mean, I mastered that shit. Like you could put me in a restaurant today and it's going to come out way more profitable. Like mastered is the word. And I took my obsessive, addictive personality and I pointed it at management. Thank God. Like when I see an addict, sometimes I'm like, dude, I'm addicted to healthy shit. Thank God, but I'm like one, like where there's like sugar and cocaine. I'm like one molecule away from being that person, but I'm just so thankful for it. So I was in restaurants for 16 years, managed for 13. Those 13 years, I worked 70 hours a week, average, not max. not minimum, but average. I commuted 10 hours a day. Holidays didn't exist. Family didn't exist. I was married back then. We got 8 hours a week together where our schedule coincided of us being off of work. And that 8 hours a week was only during the end of my overnight shift. So I used to work a complete overnight shift. And instead of coming home and going to bed at 7 a.m., that's when my 8-hour stint started with my wife. And I really did life in reverse. And I really feel like I grinded during the years that I should have grinded. But what that gave me was awareness. Every holiday I missed. Where's Nick? He's working. Where's Nick? We're going on vacation. I can't. I'm working. If you want to take a vacation in the restaurant industry, it's a true story. You need to work 6 days a week for the 5 weeks before you leave to earn the 5 days off. You're gone, even though you're supposed to be getting paid vacations. At least that's how it was when I was coming up. Okay. Dude, no complaints, bro. Do not now, no, but 100% perspective, right? Like dude, that time in my life made me the monster that I am today. It's the reason why I paint my cats on my wall. Okay. And I have the Death Star with a smiley.
You guys are listening to this. You got to go to YouTube and check out Nicholas's background. He's got one. I thought I had a cool background. He's got a way cooler background than me. But I'd also like to know about what are some things you do that have, this asymmetrical upside, like we talk about, where the upside is really big, the downside is pretty low, and those are fun bets to take. We want to have both sides of the barbell. So what does that look like for you?
So it's a couple of things. One, I do have 3 properties. I've got this one, which, boy, I didn't even realize I bought right when COVID hit. And this property is my single biggest net worth value uptick I've ever had, other than lead mining, but that was really cool. And I've got a 4-unit in Vermont, which is awesome. I'll tell you what, guys, rural areas, those puppies are great. That place in Vermont was $180,000 in rents for 5 Gs a month. Wow. In total. Crazy. But then, there's also snowplow bills. So there's other bills I've noticed. I'm like, that's a lot of cash flow. And then the snowplow bills me, and I'm like, okay, it's a little bit of a different story. But and I've got a property in Phoenix. I'll be honest with you, I fucking hate being a landlord. I care too much. I definitely need a property management company because I care too much. I want to be there. I want to help out, and I've got a good life. So I love being generous, but I've learned that I've got to take myself out of the equation. So I created a fake property management company that my employees handle. I just call it LMP Properties, just so my tenants stay in check. Because if they deal with me, they know, even though I'm super stern, they still don't care, but when they think they're dealing with the company with policies, that helps. But other than that, I think the safest I have 2 big safe upsides that I do. One is a stock market crash, right? I've got unique opinions about the stock market. I'm never going to leave my money in the stock market. I've already had 3 crashes in my lifetime. There's going to be a 5th, 6th, and 7th. In my honest opinion, when it crashes, you dump it in. When it goes up, you take it out, and then you let that system keep going. Very simple system. I know everyone always says it always goes back up, but just to remind you, that also means that it also always goes back down. Okay. So just a little hint there. I'm not a big stock guy, but that's just a strategy I've used. That's worked. And then the other thing I recently did, which I don't know if this makes people celebrate or cringe, but I recently just created a reinsurance company for myself. Have you heard of that?
I haven't, no.
Okay. So I'll tell you what I did. I took $125,000 and I put it into a company that is an insurance company for my company, Lead Mining. And it's meant for companies. This is cool stuff. It's meant for companies that have kind of like me. I'm not like a processing plant that has like a manufacturing and I have like that kind of insurance, right? Like nothing can break in my business but my brain, right? Essentially. So it's like gives you a unique style of insurance. But the way it works is I put $125,000 in. Well, guess what? That's tax deductible this year, right? So need that bad boy. That saved me about $45,000 in taxes. That's huge. That's huge. That's half my tax bill right there. Bam. Love that. Okay. So then this money goes into this business that I also own. I can only insure my businesses. I can't insure any business I don't own. So I can't insure your business or anything. I can only insure mine. At the end of the year, if there's no claims filed by me, which guess what? There's not going to be, then all of that money becomes profit. Okay. Now I can leave that money in the account, or I can take it out for 15% capital gains tax. Now, I don't want to do that. That hurts my tax averages. I end up saving through this strategy a net $22,000 a year in taxes. Meanwhile, I'm technically creating a super ninja savings account for my family. I do this for 7 years. I have $1 million in savings, let alone whatever 25,000 multiplied by 7 is almost $200,000 in tax savings, $1 million in the bank account. And then I cash out, right, is going to be my goal. But so that's something really cool that I'm doing to save money. I figure that's very low risk. I think saving $25,000 a year in my shoes is a very big upside, So that's what I say is on my other end.
That's so cool, man. I'm familiar with like whole life insurance and infinite banking and things like this, but this seems like it's a different take on using insurance products. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about certainty and what we do inside the Whale Club, you can find the link below in the show notes to join our free community on Discord.